Vermillion Public School Foundation, and I'll allow them an opportunity to do a better introduction of themselves. I have Katharina Wymar and Karen Davies. So round of applause. And who now? Dan Moreland. And Dan Moreland. Round of applause. All yours.
Thank you. Here. Hi, I'm Katharina Wymar, and I'm the president of the Vermillion Public School Foundation, for those of you who don't know me. And so it was founded in 2006 by concerned citizens who wanted to improve the educational opportunities of our children. And so, you know, we've come a long ways with the Vermillion Public School Foundation, and so we really cherish the opportunity here to kind of tell you about what we've been doing and what we plan on doing. So as you see, we plan on taking the next step to hire an executive director, and we'll kind of show you the progression that we took and why we plan on doing that. And here today to help me make this presentation are Karen Davies, our treasurer, very important, and Dan Moreland, our board member. If you want to come up already, come.
Ready. All right, so I always get the numbers. I love the numbers. As Ted says, I have to count the beans. All right, so and the information I have here is actually just since I've been on the board, because that's the good information I know is right. Before I was here, things are kind of scattered among different treasurers. In the last 4 years, through 2020, we have raised $375,000. We raise about $90,000 a year as our average, and that's just with a volunteer board. We have no staff on hand. This year, to date, as of the end of June, we've raised almost $80,000. So we still have half of our calendar year to go to get up to that $90,000 that we like to see. We can see that we raise money for unrestricted purposes, which pays for the fundraising. It pays for all of the accounting fees, the legal fees that we incur. And then if we have enough money, we will also use that to make certain grants to the schools. We raise current gifts where the donor makes a gift and says, I want to use it for this particular program. And then we raise endowments. And in the past few years, some of our focus has been to start increasing those endowments. We are up to 12 endowments now. And we'll see a slide on what those endowments, the value of those endowments in a minute. Here we go. As I was saying, the value of our endowments right now as of June 30th is $218,515. Those endowments support different programs. We have those that support student well-being, and that is one of our more popular programs called the Angel Fund, where we are providing things that the students need just to get by day to day. So it's not an educational program. It may be a winter coat, a winter hat, mittens. It may be transportation are some of the things. During the COVID period, we have spent, during that year, we spent almost $14,000 in these angel funds to help with those student needs, as well as to help with some face masks and equipment. We spent on top of that another $7,500 to buy the equipment that the teachers needed for off-site learning. So good thing that we did for the school district. One of our new programs that we really haven't had a lot of need for in the past year, but we are trying to ramp that up so as soon as they can start using that, is called the Student Experiential Learning Program. That is going to provide funds to the students so they can go on those field trips. And the school board is just not able to support those at this point, and so that's something that they've had to cut way back on, and we want to make sure that the students can have that experience again. So that's another one of our programs. You can see our scholarships. Our alumni like to make sure that the students that leave the Vermillion Public Schools are off to their college education. They have a little bit of a gift to help them in that first year. So we have four endowments that support a number of scholarships from the range of $500 to $1,000. We do have some faculty programs where we provide money to the teachers to do conferences, to do collaborative work. A lot of that was during the summer that they worked together for the curriculum. So that's available for professional development. We have activities like athletics and music and art that we support. academic programs. We support the library. And then, of course, our operations. We have a budget currently of about $6,000. As we talk about what we need to do next, that budget is going to drastically increase with a paid executive director, so a great need for operations. Here's some of the things, again, we talk about. What do we give for academic support? We like to do at the Public School Foundation things that the board is not able to do. They don't have the money from the state. They're not able to provide these things. For example, when they had to take arts out of the education several years ago because of budget cuts, the Vermillion Public Schools Foundation stepped up and paid for a program called Arts Attack, which brought arts back to the lower level grades. Once they saw that that was a good program, the school board was able to take that over. Teaching workshops, we supported for 3 years, teaching our teachers how to teach, a lot of teachers in there, reading and writing. And so that was a very popular program that was funded by specifically one of our very loved donors wanted to do that. Field trips, we talked about. The Angel Fund, we talked about. That number, I actually forgot to update this slide. That number as of the end of June was, during the fiscal year, we've supported 3,500 touches. So one student may get multiple touches in a year based on their need, but 3,500 touches since that program has been in existence since September of 2019. I think that facilities, you can see we've helped with updating the library. We've provided musical equipment. We provided our classroom technology, specifically during the COVID period. We have helped with the Vets Complex. We redid last year the Teachers Lounge in the high school. Okay, so I'm going to let the professionals go now.
So as we think about what kind of impact can we have through an executive director and how that might enhance the work that we do, really we're looking at increasing our funding and really the support for the initiatives that we're doing at the public schools. Right? We want to kind of enrich the learning that's already taking place, maybe help develop new programs with them to really benefit the students. That's really why our organization exists, is really to help students have a deeper, more enriched learning experience. And part of that process is helping the teachers develop their craft and skill as well. Right? We want to be able to provide those professional development opportunities for teachers so that they can learn new teaching strategies, maybe learn a new curriculum, those kind of things, go to workshops, go to conferences, those kind of things, and then come back and have the collaboration time with their peers, their colleagues in their grade level or within their school building or even across the district to actually implement those ideas. Right? And that might be, hiring some substitute teachers to come in to sub for a day so the teachers can get together and talk about what they've been doing. Or it might be, on off-contract time in the summer, having them come in and work on how are we going to implement this new curriculum next year, right? Those kinds of things. And when we do that, we're really helping engage the school in more program development. We're taking their ideas and making it a little bit better. We're enhancing it, and that's really what we want to be able to do through our executive director. Additionally, we want to have our executive director help maintain those relationships with our alumni. Right? So once our students graduate from the high school here in town, we want to be able to, keep in contact with them. That way we can connect with them whenever there's events going on, or if there's some kind of fundraising opportunity we're trying to do, that we can connect with them. Same thing with the Vermillion community. The community very much supports education here in Vermillion, so we like that. So we want to maintain those partnerships with them, but then also partner with other organizations in the community, so PTO, Rotary, booster clubs, those kind of things, because I think when we work together, we have a lot more opportunity and have a lot more success. And then ultimately we want to help kind of create new endowments, increase our current endowments. That way we don't just have really good activities, for a single year, but we can have those activities and support teachers, support our students kind of into the future. Now, as we look at what might this look like, we can look at Aberdeen's story. Their public school foundation started in 2009, and they had a net worth around $328,000, which is actually pretty close to where we are today. And while we can't promise that this is the trajectory we would go on, it kind of gives us kind of that aspirational goal of where we would like to be maybe someday. And this is all through their executive director over about a 10-year period. They had a tremendous amount of growth. And I think of the impact that we could have if we followed a similar trajectory. I mean, that'd be pretty awesome. With that, I'll turn it back over to Katharina.
So, the kind of things that we're looking for in an executive director is, to work on development activities. So a lot of these things have been touched upon before. We really want to identify those donors, the grants, be able to really increase the impact that we're having on the school district. And so that's why, with an executive director, we hope to do that. We want to also look at public relations and marketing. A lot of people don't know what we do. We want to get the word out there and sort of let people know. Work collaboratively with other groups as well. One thing that we're really looking forward to is that the executive director will be located in the district, in the high school building, so then they'll have that direct contact to the teachers and administration and be able to collaborate with them and work on things. So that will be very helpful. And then we have a lot of different administrative activities that need to be done, from things like making sure that our strategic goals are being met, our strategic projects are being met, that we're in alignment with the strategic goals and of the district, and working on the day-to-day administration of donor management and finance and those things that normally go on in our organization. So we are in a great position. The school board has agreed to finance the executive director. It's a part-time position. And so they're going to finance for the first year $17,000 and for the second year $15,000. And the third year we're going to negotiate. But this puts us really in a position to be able to show, okay, a position to try this out and go the same trajectory that we've seen with other organizations. So we know we need a budget of $20,000 to meet these needs, and so we're going to be fundraising and trying to meet the gap in the other ones. So we have other expenditures, and that's why we're coming out to our different organizations in the community and asking them to support us on this route. We think this is a great way to increase the impact that we have on our students, and that we all know how important an education is for our students. Now I'll want to thank you, and go ahead.
If I might know somebody who might be interested in that position,
Oh, yes.
what should I do?
Yes, please contact us. Yeah, so we're still looking, so if you know anyone who is looking for or would be interested in being an executive director, they can actually apply through the school district. So we have it out there, apply through the school district, but if they have questions, then they can contact us as well. Are there any other questions? Sure.
I'm just curious, on your last slide,
Yeah.
half-time executive director, you're going to lower their salary for the second year.
No. That's how much the school is going to give us. We have a budget of $20,000 for salary and benefits. So the school district is giving us $17,000 and $15,000 in the first and second year. We, as the foundation, have to match the rest. So that's where we're going to get those donations. And, we realize when the executive director, they'll be able to bring grants in and other things, take the time that we as a volunteer board, and, we're all working, we don't have. So this will be a really great opportunity.
So we're hoping that position in the next 5 years will be able to be more than a half-time position.
Yeah.
Because they will be funding themselves with the fundraising. So they can grow that position if they do a good job.
And we've seen that happen in other organizations or even other school districts. I went to a conference in Nebraska, and there were school districts there that had full-time and more than one person on the staff. So they had very good success with that. Any other questions? Yeah, please.
What is the minimum amount to establish an endowment? Do you have a period of years to reach that minimum as a donor?
Yeah, I'll let Karen handle
So
it.
currently, we have a very low limit. We have a $7,000 limit.
Minimum amount?
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Before that endowment pays out, right? But we have people who are starting up endowments and giving money per year.
We like to have that $25,000 amount, because if it's specifically, that's going to give you about $1,000 every year spent. But at this point, the board has only approved a minimum of $7,000.
And we have started working on an operations endowment, right? Yeah, it's fluctuating right now. I have to,
There's 6 right now.
6 now.
We would possibly
Yeah.
in the next few years.
Yeah, so hopefully
We
soon.
also know individuals who would love to work with the board.
Yeah.
Please let us know also. We're always looking for new board members.
Yeah.
Do you see any crossover with what does versus, I think I saw it on the other slides, like the Booster Club?
A little bit. So we don't, I mean, maybe Karen, you can explain how we've helped the Booster Club before, because we've taken money in from them, right?
The Booster Club, when I'm on the administrative side of it, on the money
Yeah.
side, they are not as quick to understand what the rules are for charitable giving as we are. So if the donor really wants to make sure that they're getting the proper tax receipts, et cetera, they know that the money should be coming to us first so that we get that documented. Otherwise, for fundraising purposes, they periodically share their lists so that we can add it to ours so that we can, when we do our newsletters and such, we got those Booster Club members identified. We just purchased the software and been using it about a year now for keeping our donors in the database rather than Excel spreadsheets. So we now have about 4 years backdated of giving information about our donors. We have the capacity to add new graduates in to become alumni. And with COVID, we just really haven't worked with the groups, but our goal is to start working with these groups so that they can be aware of, with this software, what can we help them with for fundraising.
Yeah, and we intended, COVID kind of changed everything. So, we were planning on having an all-school reunion, and that's where we were kind of working with the Booster Club also together, or people from the Booster Club, and we were all trying to work together to find a way. So I think there is room for more collaboration there. Sue, did you want to add anything?
Specific points on what we want the executive director to do.
Yeah.
Is that collaboration.
Right. Sue, you look.
The position is announced and open.
Mm-hmm.
We would love to have one within the next month, 2 months.
Yeah.
But it's going to depend on what type of applicants.
Any other questions? Or Sue, do you have anything?
Well, I just want to say that I think it's important for everyone to understand that we're not, and you said this, but I want to reiterate, that the foundation is not replacing the responsibility the school district has. The foundation is there in a public-private partnership to enhance programs or to start programs that are not within the means of the school district at this particular time. You mentioned art. I will also talk about the tennis program, the soccer programs at Vermillion were programs that at one point were paid for by the foundation, and then the school district took them over. So many times we will, and I say that because I'm a former board member, but they will take a program that is needed, whether it be academic or social or whatever, and start it, and many times the school district then realizes, oh, this really is an important piece of the puzzle, so to speak, of the programs, and they will take it over. Many people think, well, we're just there to replace, when that's not at all what we're there to do. We're there to enhance the opportunity. We have many students who can't afford to do some of the things that really make for a rich experience in the school and during their school years. And this provides an opportunity for them to take advantage of whether it be art or academics or whatever.
And we offered middle school scholarships for summer programs, whether it would be the science camp or music camp or those kind of things. So those were some of the other scholarship type of things that we were funding. Yeah.
So I saw that the all-school reunion has tentatively been rescheduled for next summer. Do we have a date?
No, we don't. We're working on that, though. We should get it out pretty quick. Yeah. Any other questions?